Some survival gadgets look impressive, but a few are quietly avoided by experienced preppers. The reason isn't price, it's because they create more vulnerability than protection. Technology 1. The long life battery. Most people overlook. Energy independence sounds simple until storage becomes the weak link. Many preppers invest heavily in solar panels and assume the job is finished once lithium battery banks are installed. The numbers look impressive on paper. High energy density, fast charging, compact size, and modern battery management systems create a feeling of security. However, very few people calculate what those systems look like after 5, 8, or 12 years. Lithium batteries gradually lose capacity with every cycle, and even while sitting unused, heat accelerates degradation. Deep discharge shortens lifespan. After several years, the original performance begins to fade. Replacement becomes necessary. Lead acid systems follow a similar pattern through sulfation and plate corrosion. Even when maintained carefully, they are built around finite cycle counts. Nickel-iron batteries, originally developed by Thomas Edison in the early 20th century, operate differently. Instead of prioritizing compact size and lightweight design, they prioritize longevity and resilience. The chemistry tolerates overcharging, deep discharge, and long periods of inactivity far better than most modern consumer systems. The electrolyte can be replaced. Capacity can be restored even after extended neglect. In documented cases, these batteries have remained operational for decades. This does not mean nickel-iron systems are perfect. They are heavier, they require more space. They are less energy efficient during charging. However, in stationary applications such as homesteads, cabins, or long-term off-grid installations, weight becomes less important than lifespan. A system that continues functioning reliably for multiple decades changes the entire financial equation. The reason these batteries are not mainstream in portable power stations is not secrecy, it is consumer demand. Most buyers prioritize sleek packaging and lightweight convenience. Manufacturers respond to that preference. A battery chemistry that lasts a lifetime does not fit a fast upgrade market. That does not make it forbidden, it makes it commercially inconvenient. Preparedness changes the evaluation criteria. Instead of asking which battery looks modern, the better question becomes which battery will still function 20 years from now. That shift in thinking alone separates temporary solutions from long-term resilience. Energy storage solves only one problem. Temperature control determines whether stored energy can even be used effectively in harsh conditions. Technology 2. Advanced insulation that redefines warmth. Cold environments challenge even the most prepared households. Many people assume warmth equals thickness. Large jackets and thick sleeping bags signal protection. However, insulation is not simply about adding bulk. It is about controlling how heat moves. Heat escapes through conduction, convection, and radiation. Traditional materials like down and synthetic fibers trap air to slow convection. That approach works well when insulation remains dry and lofty. Once compressed or saturated with moisture, performance declines rapidly. Anyone who has worn damp insulation understands how quickly warmth disappears. Aerogel offers a radically different approach. Developed in the 1930s and later refined for aerospace and industrial applications, aerogel consists of a nanoporous silica structure that is primarily air. The pores are so small that air molecules struggle to circulate. This significantly reduces convective heat transfer. The solid structure is minimal, which limits conductive heat transfer as well. The result is remarkable thermal performance in extremely thin layers. Millimeters of aerogel can match centimeters of traditional insulation. It resists moisture more effectively than down and does not depend on loft that collapses over time. This makes it especially attractive in environments where durability matters more than style. Aerogel is not hidden technology. It is used in space exploration, industrial pipelines, and specialized clothing. The reason it remains uncommon in everyday jackets is cost. Manufacturing aerogel requires controlled drying processes that increase production expense. Budget winter apparel cannot absorb that cost easily. Still, for individuals focused on long-term preparedness, the calculation looks different. A shelter lined with high-performance insulation requires less heating energy. Clothing that maintains consistent performance year after year reduces replacement cycles. In cold climates, efficient insulation is not a luxury, it is an energy multiplier. If detailed breakdowns like this help you rethink what resilience actually means, subscribe now so you stay ahead of surface level gear reviews. Energy and insulation form two pillars of stability. Communication forms the third. Technology 3. Decentralized communication systems. Modern communication feels permanent because mobile networks and internet infrastructure appear everywhere. However, these systems rely on centralized towers, corporate maintenance, and continuous power. When any part of that chain fails, communication degrades quickly. Traditional handheld radios provide short range coordination but depend heavily on line of sight transmission. Terrain blocks signals. Analog communication lacks built in encryption. Range is limited by geography and antenna placement. For small teams, these radios can work well. For broader resilience, they fall short. LoRa based mesh networks offer a different model. Instead of relying on one central tower, each device functions as a node. Messages pass from node to node until reaching their destination. If one device shuts down, the network reroutes automatically. As more nodes join, coverage improves rather than weakens. Mesh-tastic firmware running on LoRa hardware illustrates how decentralized communication works in practice. These devices consume minimal power and can operate for long periods on small batteries supported by solar panels. Messages are encrypted using modern standards. There is no subscription because there is no corporate provider controlling the network. This does not mean the system is immune to monitoring or interference. It operates within physical radio laws. However, decentralization reduces reliance on any single point of failure. Communities that deploy mesh networks increase their communication resilience through redundancy rather than control. The reason mesh systems remain niche is practical. A single device offers limited benefit. A functioning network requires coordination and multiple participants. That requires planning and community engagement. Preparedness, by definition, is stronger when built collaboratively rather than individually. Communication binds energy and insulation into a functioning survival strategy. Without coordination, even the best equipment remains isolated. Recognizing the pattern. When these three technologies are viewed together, a clear pattern emerges. Each prioritizes durability over rapid upgrade cycles. Nickel-iron batteries emphasize lifespan. Aerogel emphasizes consistent performance. Mesh networks emphasize decentralized reliability. None of these technologies are illegal or restricted. They are simply outside mainstream marketing focus because they do not align perfectly with consumer turnover models. Lightweight lithium batteries sell well because portability matters. Fashion-driven winter apparel encourages seasonal purchases. Subscription-based communication generates predictable revenue. Preparedness shifts focus from convenience to continuity. The question becomes less about which product is trending and more about which system will still function years down the road. That mindset transforms buying decisions into strategic investments. It is important to remain balanced. Lithium batteries offer excellent energy density. Down insulation performs very well in dry environments. Cellular networks provide unmatched convenience for daily life. The goal is not rejection, the goal is awareness. When trade-offs are understood clearly, preparation becomes intentional rather than reactive. That clarity prevents overinvestment in technology that requires constant replacement while ignoring systems built for endurance. Preparedness is not about collecting gear impulsively. It is about understanding how systems behave over time.